The nationwide lockdown in the United Kingdom has triggered a massive crisis of food, with nearly about 1.5 million people saying that they went an entire day without a single meal. The local charities have been overwhelmed by the demand for financial help and food in the neighbourhoods. Now, here are some worrying numbers for you. Nearly about 3 million people have said that they live in a household where at least one person has been forced to skip meals. And nearly about 1 million people reported a complete loss of income due to the lockdown. The food banks are also struggling to keep up with this crisis. Independent estimates suggest that food banks have seen a 300% rise in terms of footfalls. Now, the government will have to act immediately and put cash in the hands of the vulnerable population groups if a humanitarian crisis is to be avoided. Now, the Finance Minister has already announced a £750 million aid package for Britain's frontline charities. But if the lockdown were to be extended further, then more public investment will be required. Let's also now get you an update on the British Prime Minister's health. Boris Johnson has released a short statement for the very first time since his hospitalisation. The Prime Minister has said, and I quote him here, "I can't thank them enough. They've saved my life." Johnson was referring to the NHS staff who are, of course, receiving nationwide praise for their battle against the pandemic. Johnson, however, continues to remain in hospital, but according to 10 Downing Street, is making very good progress and remains in pretty good spirits. Queen Elizabeth II, meanwhile, has used her Easter message to rally the nation. The 93-year-old monarch has said that Easter is not cancelled and that Britain will overcome the coronavirus crisis.
This year, Easter will be different for many of us. But by keeping apart, we keep others safe. But Easter isn't cancelled. Indeed, we need Easter as much as ever. The discovery of the risen Christ on the first Easter day gave his followers new hope and fresh purpose, and we can all take heart from this. We know that coronavirus will not overcome us. As dark as death can be, particularly for those suffering with grief, light and life are greater.
Britain recorded as many as about 917 new deaths in the last 24 hours, taking the tally closer to 10,000. An 11-year-old was in fact amongst those who succumbed to the infection on Saturday. Easter comes at a very difficult time for Britons, as many experts feel that the country could be headed towards the hardest week of the pandemic.
He's been on 75 and actually for the HME was changed.